Yo, what's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I was just trying a couple things here real quick with the audio. I was trying the mic with this to see if this adds anything or if you can't hear me or whatever. All right, so I got a direct. So see if this works. I'm gonna press a couple buttons here. Wow, that was loud. Tell me if you guys can hear any of that. I'm just pressing them all. And then and then tell me, hold on. Tell me if you can hear any of it. I just gotta know. All right. So, and then now I'm going to throw on the vintage like this, the vintage mode, and I guess I gotta press the thing on. I guess in order for it to work, for it to give me like this vintage sound. So I'm gonna go and check that out. But I gotta know if you guys heard that. So, fight fans, thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? Round one. So we have a lot of fights to break down. Um, we have the Zufa coming into boxing. I want to know what you guys think about it. We also have big cards coming up. January is stacked with fight cards. Um, what's on your mind about boxing and all that and more. So don't forget to hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, become a Round One Sports Talk member, and like always, let's hop right into this video. Yo, is that loud to you? I wonder if you guys can hear that. Let me see if any of that worked. Hold on a second. Let me see if any of that sound works. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Damn, nothing I did worked, huh? Give me 1 second. All right, cool, cool. I hear what I sound like, so that's good. But I see that the auto effect, the sound effects and shit didn't work. Mm. All right, let's get this show started. Fuck. Well, win some, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? Damn, bro. What up, man? Boogie, how you doing? Salute, man. Man, just still trying to work out the kinks with this. Somewhere, somehow, I don't got something downloaded, some software driver or something. Um, I'm gonna have to like just start off again from the beginning and try to see, but I can't find no tutorials on this, and I'm not getting any help. It's not like my auto interface that I had before, but this one is obviously a lot better. So um, I'm gonna work this out. I'll figure it out some way, somehow, and because, like I said, according to the sound deck, I'm actually hearing it play back in my ears. So, and for the auto interface, it's receiving it. When I press the button, it's showing, it's registering. It's just not coming out on the stream. So, I got to figure out something somewhere, some URL code. It has to be copy and pasted, and I'll get to it. So anyway, fight fans. Um, what's up? Audio sounds crispy. Thank you. All right. So the audio is great, right? So like I got that part working back, so that's good. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, we don't want to mess with it too much, right? Yeah, we don't want to mess things up. I'm just talking a little loud and trying to see if as long as it doesn't clip, then I'm okay. So, I wanted to know what you guys were thinking about this Sufa coming into boxing. I've been around surfing around the YouTube streets, and I've been getting mixed reactions with it. Some people have saying that yes, it's time for something new for boxing. Other people are questioning what is what is the landscape for Zufa? Are we using the the Alphabet Boy belts for their fights, or are they making their own belt? Like what's going to happen? You know, Jaya Opataya, you know, Richard Mayweather. A lot of those fighters right there are kicking off the card, the first card. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of good names, not so much household names, but good fighters going to kick off that Zufa card. So, where, as they go through the logistics of it all, Sufa, they what they did in the UFC, and what they're aiming to do in boxing. I try to look up some stuff under them today. They're a fairly new promotional company. You know, uh, Once again, Dana White is put as the promoter of the company, Turkey Al Sheikh, and a few of other affiliates, business associates. They're running this Sufa, and it's all kicking off new. So this is really fairly new to me too as well. But I just want to know. We talked about it briefly about another entity, another way of watching the sport of boxing, and whether or not this is going to be good. So, um, that being said, boxing is still running, right? And I can't help but notice a lot of the new statements and moves being, behind the scenes. Top Rank, they're in shambles over there, right? And I think in order for the rest of the promoters to coexist, Oscar seems to be, he's going to be teaming up with the PBC. And together in a joint venture of promotion, they're going to try to put it together the fights they can. Top Rank, being Top Rank, I don't know. Maybe Bob Aaron's calling it quits. Maybe he never thought that he would bring Top Rank so far and then have to unite with these other guys. Is it more of a pride thing? Is he done with the whole business? Like, man, if this is where we got, and now I got to do business, you know what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes to survive, you got to adapt. You got to adapt. And when something is chasing you down, that's a big force. Well, maybe you might have to, unite with other entities to survive. Because if not, this carnivore is going to eat all of you. So you're going to have to adapt as far as what Top Rank, Oscar, the PBC, Ed Hearn, Frank Warren, just to name, and Fresh Promotion, newly, another player in the game or trying to enter the game. Let's see what they do if they even stick around. So I think a lot of these promoters and bigger companies are gonna have to stick together or unite. Uh, Sufa doesn't seem like they're backing down, and it looks like full steam ahead. So, like in anything in any sport, competition is expected. It's how do you fare and how do you stand up? Has boxing built something strong enough to survive? Or is boxing so discombobulated that any entity with a little bit of structure can take over boxing? Is that where we're at? I'm asking you. How bad is boxing? None of us truly really know. I mean, I'm not a promoter. I don't have a TV network. I'm not in those rooms. Honestly, I can't tell you how bad and what position we truly are in the sport of boxing. Can one entity come in with structure and take over? Boxing's going to have to unite. They're going to have to come to an agreement of a lot of things in the sport of boxing, I feel. Audio super low. What's up, Kano? How you doing, brother? What? Turn your audio up then. I don't know what to tell you. Hold on. Let me check this. Nah, my audio's all the way up. Everything's up. You're gonna have me checking my settings again in the middle of my monologue because I care about you guys and I want everybody to hear me. You know? So let's see if I turn it. Well, that's clipping a little. Bring it down a little. Right about there. I'm gonna check my audio, the sound thing. 100, 100. Oh, the output is mad low, 42. All right, what about this, guys? Oh shit, my shit was way down. I wonder if that was affecting. Probably so. That was probably it. You guys probably hear me a lot louder now. Let me know. What's up, my dude? What up, Kano? In the building. Boogie, what you doing right now? Lance, what's up? How you doing? Morning, salute. Man, I wish I could read this dude's name, bro. It's just fucking me up. Maybe if I put it on the screen. Bro, is that a that looks crazy right now to me. It looks like that's fucking up with my eyes, bro. I think it's a U, but I think it's an R with an H. And yo, my eyes are bad, bro. It's working? All clear? Nice. Okay, we figured that part out. We figured that part out at least, right? So now it's like real loud, right? Good, 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 good. We can lower the volume over here. We don't want it to be too loud. So, where were we? Um, what I'm saying is that boxing needs to come to an agreement, right, with itself. It has to like sit down with all powers that be, meaning fuck opinions. Sit down with the people that can change the rules, that can actually do something about what you're talking about. Coming together as the organizations, you know, in one room with the officials and make it a worldwide thing where that the rules in place affect everywhere you box. They're going to have to go under the same rule structure, the same pointing system around the world. If it's a professional setting and you want to compete in professional boxing, these are the rules. Just like you play in the NBA, just like you play in the NFL, Major League Baseball. No matter what city and town you go to, it's the same rules. And what they need to do that is worldwide for boxing. You can compete in your country and you can box, but it won't be under the professional settings of these rules if you don't want to compete. Do you? Right? But boxing needs to get serious with itself in order to compete against what's coming. Because if we're confused as ever It's 2026. Can anybody tell me the rules in Chile? It's 2026. Can anybody tell me the rules in Panama? How about the Philippines? Japan? China? Spain? North Korea? Can you tell me the boxing rules there? And are they the same all around for the United States? Are they the same in Texas? Are they the same in New York? Are they the same in Las Vegas? Are they the same in Philadelphia? Huh? Are they the same rules in Chile, Panama, Ecuador? Same rules? Then we need to get this shit right. And it's, I think, simpler to this way rather than allowing a lot of entities and a lot of no, give them the memo, give them the pamphlet. You referees in those other countries, these are now the rules. If that referee company exists out there, well, then they're part of the referee. You need the people that can change the rules in the room when you're talking. So that by the time you guys walk out of that room, you have a structure of a professional setting for the sport of boxing. Not where we're at. That way the fans won't be as confused. What do you mean out there in Mexico, the 3 knockdown rule doesn't exist? The guy got up 5 times. The match is still going on. In New York City, if you get knocked down 3 times, the fight is over. Oh, that's a claw. What is a claw? A weight claw? A 3-pound knockdown claw? What are these things in boxing? Do they exist everywhere? Why is it that they show that unofficial scorecard under every boxing match? What does that mean? Does that count? There are a lot of confusion in boxing. What do you mean he's not the champion? He has the belt on. Excuse me, that's the interim champion, the gold champion, the silver, the intercontinental, the youth, the Atlantic Pacific, Mount Rushmore volcano champion. Yes, we acknowledge him. That's a Tukatana, Kikikana, Walanmana champion of the world right there. It's too much shit. It's too much. This Zufa thing seems to have a direction, an order, a structure. The when and the where, who fights who next as you advance. It seems to be a little bit more structurally sound. Now, the money aspect of it all, where we're going to see it, Prime, Paramount, whatever, whatever streaming, right? Whatever sticks. In my experience in the sport, not every network you start off with, you stay there. Sometimes somebody bigger comes along and offers you a more lucrative deal, and you break the contract or pay out, and you go sign with someone else. I remember UFC signed with Spike Network when they first started. Then they got another deal. What was it? Who they fought for multiple streaming platforms. And it happens all the time in boxing. Now, another thing they should fix in boxing is have a consistent streaming platform. You know, like when ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, you used to be able to go up there on whatever fight night and watch Friday night fights or Saturday night fights, and you can catch the fights there. Everybody went and got greedy. And everybody doesn't want to give the rights to their fight being streamed on a certain platform. But they should come up with a rule. A rule. You have the right to stream your fight on that platform, whatever. But this platform right here, there has to be one platform that you all have to sign off to. One that streams. If you want to pay for it over there or whatever on the night of the fight, But all the low events, like because you're a pro boxer, they must be streamed on a pro boxing network. No one can argue that. So it'll be just fights from around all the globe, just filling in. Then when you get to a certain level and it's starting to be like pay-per-view type fights and shit like that, then on that, you'll be able to like still see it on that platform, but it'll be like another option or something, like type shit. Like the networks and the streaming is also hurting boxing in a big way because not all these networks want their fighters fighting on his platform, this platform, and there's a lot of moving parts, you know? Like in the NFL, it used to be that you would go to NBC or CBS or whatever to watch the game. Now the NFL got its own network, its own platform. If you want to watch football, you got to pay to see it there, type shit. And maybe there can be a platform like that for boxing where all the perhaps streams, maybe you don't have to stream on the same one, but all the streams from different networks all get filtered in into this one platform or something. It's kind of like what they want to do with the zone, but the zone's doing it in a way where it's distasteful because the zone's selling you every fight as a pay-per-view like that. You know what I mean? And it doesn't live up to its value if you ask me, because half of those fights I would have never watched or paid for. You see, as a fan. But as a reporter, like covering it, I would watch all those fights. But I'm talking as a consumer. As a consumer, I don't think I should pay such a high price for half of your shit on your program, more than half of your shit. I'm not going to watch. Out of all those 5 fights, maybe I would have tuned in for 2 as a fan. But as a content creator, I'm going to watch all of them. But I can't put myself in your shoes. So I try to like put myself in your position, as a consumer. That's what I try to do. And I didn't like that. But I'm just spitballing ideas off the top of my head of maybe ways we could try to fix some of these problems. Whether or not they do that, I have no power with that. I'm not qualified to change boxing. No, I'm not. I wish I was. I'm just not. I can voice my opinion, but that's about it. That's about it. I don't, but I wish the powers that be did something about it, because when you see this, the way it's coming out, this Zufa, Dana White, they got a lot of backing right now, and it's a strong entity, and they're bringing a pretty decent product to the forefront. This is a pretty decent product, and I can see it. I can see the product that they're bringing. And I'm just like sitting back saying to myself, is boxing strong enough to survive this, or are we all in chaos? How really bad is it? If this is where we're at with boxing, the old promoters are doing old promoter shit. Whenever times got tough, we unified for a little while, put a couple fights, and then when we get money in, we break ties again. How many times have the promoters done that over through the courses of years? It's just like, you're just putting a band-aid on the cut, and you're ripping the band-aid off too early. So like, if these promoters thinks they can go back to their old tricks to sustain a little bit, you're only going to survive for a little bit longer. Because if you allow these guys to give the public what you're not giving them, they're going to tune in over here. That's a fact, Jack. It's the same thing that happened to the UFC. The fans, when the UFC first broke on the scene, it took us out of our seats. It was something new. To watch the human body contort and grab and fucking like, you were like, bro, you could kick like that and choke a dude out, and it was exciting. So a lot of fans, even from boxing, went to check out what was going on over there. It was a lot of commotion, the UFC. But what happened throughout the years, fans quickly started seeing that your roster wasn't really deep. And although you were putting the best, fighting the best you had, I noticed that your fighters didn't have long careers. That was like a brutal, brutal sport. Like the life expectancy of a UFC fighter fighting 6 years, 6, 7 years tops. Like they weren't. So once the top guys were coming out, and your roster consists of maybe 50 guys in a division, it quickly people were like, you're just doing trilogies, rematches, uh old guy fight new guy. It wasn't so much that the roster could keep up. And then for the amount of money they were fighting, they woke up. Then that whole bomb just blew up. Just blew up. And here I am back at boxing, right? And I'm saying to myself, I've seen this before in sports. Boxing survived the UFC. It's still here thriving. Boxing. The UFC tried to go against boxing. You saw Dana White back in the day fighting with Oscar De La Hoya all over social media, taking shots at each other, right? But and I can honestly say that the UFC didn't destroy boxing. It survived that and still flourishing. Now, this is a bit different. The Zufa shit, this is a bit different now. See, because they'll control both the UFC and boxing. They'll have whatever you're into. If you're into mixed martial arts, we got you here. You're into boxing, we got you here. If you're into slap boxing, we got you here. If you're into bare knuckles, we got you here. These people are taking over a lot of the combat sports, man. Because secretly, if you do a paper trail, what you'll end up doing is noticing that most of these guys are in cahoots with each other. The UFC got sold off to an entertainment company, and Dana White was left at the helm, right? He was left to be the president of UFC still, even when they sold it for like 4 point something billion, right? To like multiple shareholders of an entertainment company, whatever. All right. But in boxing, you're going to have a product that correlates with the sport you're in. It's not like they had a product, they had UFC, but that wasn't boxing. You understand? That was something else entirely. Now you got something in boxing. You got boxers, fairly known boxers coming up, boxers that are going to want to make a name for themselves. And I think what is going to end up happening, that's a recipe for success. It is. You get them young kids that want to go up there and bang, that are trying to be the next Tank Davis, the next Devin Haney. They want what they have. They're gonna go out there on those super cards, and they're gonna leave it all in the ring. Yeah. And Dana White is gonna do that UFC bonus shit, like dangling a carrot in front of their face. Their bonuses are probably gonna be more than their paycheck. That's gonna give you incentive. Like, dude, I'm getting paid, I don't know what they'll pay them, 50 grand or whatever to fight, 40 grand. And their bonuses is going to be like 50 grand. Shit, that's going to give me incentive to try to knock that dude out. Instead of walking out of here with 50 grand, I'm going to walk out with 100. I'm going to try to knock him out. So There's gonna be like performances, bonuses, everything. You know Dana White's MO. You know how he runs shit. And don't quote me on the prices. That was hypothetical. I know how some of you get. Like, no, they didn't say they were gonna pay him 40. Bro, I was, I should have said it hypothetically because I don't know the prices. I remember we had him up on the chart and they were doing that TKO price with the TKO and what was at the top for a world title fight. We had that up here, but that was the TKO shit, right? When I went up to look up Zufa, right, like I could do it now, I was just looking it up, right? It didn't really, it didn't really break down the structure of what. So, like I said, it's fairly new. I gotta go do some more research on that. But whatever way they're doing it, uh, I think boxing needs a facelift, a reality check, and I wish that the powers that be fix this because unless they fix this, if you can give me a better product with better structure, better rules, and a better understanding of who wins and who's the champion, there's not that much confusion. I'm gonna go over there and watch that because this world boxing shit you guys got going on is confusing as hell. You gotta be a rocket scientist. You gotta have a PhD in boxing to understand American boxing. That's a damn shame. This shit is like all over the place. And that's why, like, I apologize for monologuing and not getting into the chats. I'm gonna read the chats, right? I'm gonna go up and I'll see what you guys are saying. As a matter of fact, let me do that right now. Let me go up. Salute round one. Looking forward to Zufa boxing. See, there's one guy right there. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And how do you guys feel? See, one guy right there, and that's good. It's good, right? Um, if boxing wants to sustain, then you're gonna have to compete with these guys. You're gonna have to compete with them. Bob Arum's destroying boxing with his own hands. Look at his company. Keep losing views. Look, I think hypothetically, right? Melasa con sabor. What's up? NW. Is that Modern Warfare 2 vibes? Is that what that stands for? If I messed that up, bro, I'm trying to guess if that's a M or a V. MV2, MV2, or MW. My eyes are bad. I can't even see that shit, right? I'd be guessing half the words. So if you know me here, I've been battling with wanting to go get glasses. I'm just old and stubborn. Actually, I can't get out there because my donkey doesn't work. Okay, I'm out here in the country. We ride donkeys and horses, and I don't got one. See, that's why. Lies. Those are all lies. I can walk down the street. My doctor's right at the end of the corner. Don't let me lie to you. Anyway, if TKO groups grows keeps making, well, yeah, I'm happy too, but it's all right. That's the thing. That's the thing that I was just talking about. Like, you guys been hearing me go on. Like something with a better structure, can come in and possibly take over boxing and some of our stars. Can it be that? So and Bob Arum, right? I think Bob Arum is a product of years of skeletons in the closet. And that's I have, that's I'm speculating here and this is hypothetical like but from what I've been watching throughout the years with my eyes and ears and paying attention to like the whole scandal that broke out with Tyson Fury and the people out there, you got to remember Bob Arum did business with them, and I'm pretty sure he did business with a lot of gangsters, mobsters, and he might have took some money back in the day or anything. I'm not sure. He might have. Keyword. You're not saying that he did and that I know that. No. Okay. But whatever it was, I'm just guessing on what it was. Whatever he did, right? It seems to be coming all apart now. It doesn't seem like the network stuck with him. A lot of fighters. So whatever's going on behind closed doors and why everybody like is blackballing them now and why are they in the position that they're in when they were top rank, allegedly the biggest promoting in boxing. It has promoted some of the biggest stars ever in boxing, both of these guys. So uh I think that Bob Arum is he's uh I think these skeletons are coming back to bite him. Something's really wrong up there. They're just one of the strongest entities in boxing, and why are they having so much trouble? Securing a platform, a streaming network, putting these fights together. And they have a big roster of fighters, young fighters right now. So I don't get how they got here, what they did to get here, but obviously Top Rank has taken a big step back in recent years. Yeah. It's gonna be tough to see them go, bro. If they do go, if they decide to call it quit and not fight for it or whatever, what they're gonna do with their fighters, I don't know. Time will tell. Um, we'll just have to wait and see, right? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Yes, it's Modern Warfare 2. You got it. I I don't want drama. I don't want drama. Be the face of Zufa boxing. He'll push fans away. Maybe Fresh Production can and Danny Garcia. Ooh, Swift Promotion can collab, calibrate. I know what you mean. Um, that's a pretty good idea, but uh, uh, well, there's a lot of good promote. Well, they can all come together, but and then who's gonna run it? So yeah, before I get too big, maybe just one or two people, promoter companies can get together first, and then try to go from there. Don't get too big or too ahead of yourself, right? So, okay, yeah, it could be like a um a co-promote promotion, right? Like like um like Yomi used to do with Ed Hearn. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of little promoters would co-promote with the big guys. So it would be something like that. You know what I mean? But he'll have it'll be cool if he can get like a lot of the Yomi can get a lot of the other promoters like this. I know Sam Lukowicz and them dudes, they're with who they are, whatever, but they bring their fighters around. But if you can get a kind of like a loyalty and a bond to some of them lower guys, and they'll bring you fights and shit, and they'll work with you with their fighters, and they're not blackballing fresh production, and they're given a chance to try to like thrive as another boxing entity, promotional company where fighters can go and get signed and get fights. Because the biggest problem today we're having in boxing is one of them is that these boxing promoters are not getting the fighters the fights they want. Case in point, Virgil Ortiz, Oscar De La Hoya. That is exactly why Virgil Ortiz was threatening to sue Oscar De La Hoya and get out of his contract. Why? He doesn't feel like he's promoting them properly. He doesn't feel like no longer he has faith in Golden Boy or securing the fights for him. It seems like he Golden Boy's more interested in securing the bag than the fight, but they come out saying they're about legacy. Golden Boy. They yell legacy, belt, we want the fight, But the reputation they're starting to get is no, you're about the money. Because this fight could have been signed a long time ago had it not been for you asking for what? More money. So that's what I mean, about these things like the WWE did it and it became the universal why boxing can't do it. Did you see Shakur Stevenson, Twitterson out out in a way in good tears, not even great or go? Yeah, I saw that interview a long time ago. HBO boxing was the shit. Yes, it was. Yo, because HBO boxing would bring you in debt with the fighter. They would like, show the fighter jogging and it'll start off like each fighter has a quest in life that they have to overcome. Tonight, two fighters from different parts of the world will meet in New York City for this mega showdown. And then it'll just and then it'll like zoom in on both guys and it'll just be like and then it'll just like pan out to him in his city or whatever the country he's in and they'll show how they live out there, what his normal life is, his day training and stuff. Whatever the fighter wants to show. Mayweather was the one that made that real popular. He knew how to work it. He knew how to work a camera. Other guys were like not camera shy in the sense that they didn't want to get in front of a camera, but camera shy because they were like, let's not show too much. So guys are started going on there showing their outfits, their pets, their daughter, their kid. Mayweather's like, I don't want to see that shit. I want to see you training. I want to see you running, put to the bag. And HBO started locking down that kind of approach to their showing. And HBO was the shit for that. They were the shit for that, man. That was like the freaking best thing in the world to do. So that the fans engage with the fighters more. Hell yeah, that shit was brilliant. But like every all good things must come to an end. Someone got greedy. Someone paid out too much money drunk on one fight. Somebody didn't pay attention to what was going on. Someone didn't put their thumb down on these guys to make them fight. And soon, HBO opted out. HBO was under attack anyway as a streaming because of all the streaming networks, the invention of DVD going from VHS to DVD to digital, from digital to streaming, and then all platforms wanting to be their own entity because they figure, shit, we'll just put off our own show and make our own money rather than putting our show on your network and you giving us a percentage of our own show. So what we'll do is we'll just stream our own show. Paramount went that way. Warner Brothers went this way. HBO went that way. Showtime went that way. Everything. And Showtime and HBO was already under attack. They were, as a streaming, like they had to make fucking how many HBOs did they make? What could you get? It seemed like every year that was coming out with a HBO One, HBO Two, HBO Max, HBO Cinema, HBO. It was like I was like, and it'd be like all the same movies, but like three. Like on HBO Two, if you wait a week, that one's gonna play on that one. Like I was like, man, and then like the movie selection, oh, so if you go and act now to our premium plan, you can get HBO Max 2, 3, 2029. This plan has not even come out yet because we're still living in 91. And it's like, I want that plan. And you get that plan. No sooner that you get that plan, there's another plan the next week. So it was just, we were in an era that shit was moving too fast. I remember at that time, you couldn't have shit. I remember you couldn't have nothing during that time. Every single time, it seemed like I walked into the phone store. It was like, this is the fresh new hotness. It's got the lights on it, everything. Nice. When this come out? Yesterday. The fresh new hotness? I'm sold. Let me get that. Ching. No sooner you open the store door, you see an advertisement. If you got the yesterday's hotness, that was yesterday's. This is today's hotness. I just bought this. Now all of a sudden they make you feel like your shit is old. I just bought it. That shit was going crazy. We was in there. Yo, I saw literally Blockbusters rental, bro, become like a desolate waste town. All the Blockbusters in my city were all empty. There's like video cassette tapes. It looked like some real fucking sci-fi deal. They started putting like that white paper on the windows. Those little fucking boxes that you can go get the DVDs, them shit started disappearing. Yo, it was a crazy time, man. Technology was jumping up like this. It was crazy. I remember then HBO, man, and all them other entities, one by one, they all fell. Boom, boom, boom. And soon I couldn't watch boxing anywhere. I had no idea where to watch a boxing match. There was a point in time that I had no idea where to watch like anything. And I didn't know where anybody was, what divisions, nothing. It was tough. And until like this YouTube shit started hitting, and a lot of dudes earlier than me started doing like platforms and stuff that educated people, that made it interesting for us to like come back to boxing, because a lot of these guys took their time to like do what none of these networks ever did for boxing. ESPN doesn't have like a fucking segment, the NFL segment, the baseball segment, you know what I mean? No. They mention a couple of fights in between that while they go to commercial. Like, boxing was never up there like that, you know? And at least for platforms like mine and a lot of them also out there, platforms that keep us engaged, entertained, and up to date with some of the things. Sometimes some of us can be wrong, right? But at least we have this. We have this. And maybe one day I'll strive to, man, I'll be up there doing some real boxing analytics, crazy studio. That'll be the shit. I like the Round One Sports Talk Super Studio. And no sooner that I'll get it, I will open the door and they'll say, your studio sucks. You need the super studio. Motherfucker. Yo. That's how the world got me. Yeah, like, I'll be thinking I'm doing something. No, your studio's old now. I just got it yesterday. Damn. So I guess I'm gonna have to do a remake of Round One Sports Talk tomorrow. Like, you know, but yeah, that's how boxing is, man. And what do you guys think? Is boxing gonna survive this? Is you gonna make a belt and compete? Because if as soon as they make a belt, they don't work with that means that is a separate boxing entity coexisting in a pro sport. That would be like the equivalent of the NBA playing while three ball was active in the NBA, getting the same account and being called professional basketball. Having old players, new players on their thing, but when you walk in the city or like an NBA star, he could be in a club or something, and here comes this three baller walking in, and you're like, dude, I play in the NBA. And he's like, so don't I. We're under the same NBA umbrella. You play professional basketball? I play professional basketball. How you doing? Now the NBA stars like the world is accepting this shit, right? So how are you going to view these Zufa boxers? Don't wait. Don't answer that. You don't have to answer it. I'll answer it for you. If you're tuning in to watch Zufa, you already consider them pros. If you're tuning in to watch that, you're already watching it because in your head, that's what? Boxing. You've already made your decision. You've accepted Zufa as an entity in a professional sport to coexist with the pro sport. Same product, no different equipment. It looks the same to me. What's wrong with it? Soon as they make a belt, what's the world championship in boxing? Who has the real belt? Is it you because you got the most money or the loudest? Or is it tradition? Who's been here first? The second you make a belt in Zufa and all that tournament shit, and you declare him champion, when that guy walks into Tank Davis in a nightclub with his little Zufa belt, oh, are you going to laugh at that belt? Or are you taking that belt serious? And you're going to tell Gervonta Davis, the belts you guys got are no longer good. Why? Because you're a Zufa fan? So eventually, this will divide us. Remember, at some point, you're going to have to pick a side. Why? Because whoever you're cheering for, let's just say your favorite fighter signs to Zufa, wins the world title. You feel over there, he's fighting better competition. In Tank, you're still doing the same old, same old. So the second you say that belt is stronger than Tank's belt, you guys are going to have to pick a side. This is where the roads lead. I'm slowly breaking it down. I don't want to drop it all on you in one thing. You're going to watch this, and this is where it's going to bring you. And at some point, one of these, let me tell you about evolution. There can be two of the same thing for a small period in time. Whatever evolves from one species to the next, for a small period in time, the two species will coexist. But give it a little time, one of them is going to eat the other. And after a while, evolution would come full circle. And whatever was the better version of it would exist now. You understand? When something evolves into something else, the thing that it evolved from soon will no longer exist. Which one of these entities will survive? That's what I'm talking about. Where are we headed? Is this good? Is it not? What do you think? Me, I'm reserved. If you want, ask me what do I think about this. I'm reserved in the fact that, like most things in life, when you can't figure something out in life, give it time. Give it time. Think it over. Watch it evolve right in front of you. Then come back and assess it. Make your decision whether you like the product or not. I haven't been presented with the product. They set a card. I saw it. I get it. How they're gonna schedule it, what the TV is gonna look like, how it's gonna flow. Everything counts. Right? Okay. So once I get the product and I taste the product, I'll let you know. But you're not gonna convince me on a product and I I never experienced it. How can I tell you if it's good or not? So you're gonna have to watch these Sufa cards. You're the consumer, not me. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just bringing you what is going on, what's taking place. We all have to like make our decision. But I guarantee you one thing: all roads lead to, you will have to pick a side. You eventually, eventually. They're gonna straight up, sometimes when you see your competition, sometimes in the beginning they play nice because they might not be fully established or set up in position to attack. In a war, sometimes you gotta set up your tanks on the front line. You can't shoot from way back here. You want to get in position, right? Sufa is getting in position right now, and they're gonna attack eventually. They're gonna attack boxing. So what's gonna happen? They're gonna come in, set up shop, and then they're gonna try to take over. That's what I would do. That's what I would do if I was them and I was a rich guy and I was trying to control boxing, or I felt like I was fixing boxing for the people, because boxing has been going along like this for so long, and it doesn't seem like it was getting any better. As a consumer and me watching boxing, I told you guys, you need a degree sometimes to learn all this shit in boxing. It's quite messy at times, but at the same time, uh, if you were following boxing, you would be more fluent with it. Yes, of course, but not everybody's like that. So I think, yeah, the boxing world believes everybody should be caught up because we went periodically. But no, there's new fans, fans that leave, fans that return. And now you got more shit in boxing from the last time I left watching boxing and returned back to boxing. Boxing changed a lot. It did. I didn't know the fucking you had a regular interim silver blah 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 whatever. No, I didn't. All that other stuff. I was like, wow, that's a lot of new belts. Or though in my time, I never knew about them or something. Uh, so it's confusing to say the least. And when you have something that's more put together, man, it's gonna be hard to argue. It's gonna be hard to argue. So I don't know. I leave that into you. I just had a question today. It's not really. I don't want to really keep beating the same dead horse, talking about the Shakur and these guys' fights. Their fights are going to be coming up. We're going to be tuning in, going in live for these Andy Cruz fights and things. But this Sufa stuff, man, quite interesting. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. And I got to admit, uh, I got to admit that these promoters in boxing got to do better, and they got to start. I think from they got to tear down boxing and build it back up. You already have something. You have professional boxing. Regulate that shit. That's it. Regulate it. There has to be an entity that is a police and that determines all the rules. Those rules need to be handed out country by country, state by state. And if you're going to compete in professional boxing, these are the rule structure. This is the judging. This is how we score the fight in all countries, all states. And that would be a start. Then organizing fights amongst promoters. We have to have a system where your guys have to enter by a certain day or they're penalized. That keeps fighters on their toes. If you're going to be in a professional sport, then you have to have a professional schedule. You can't let boxing be left to most of these guys when they want to go on vacation for a year or whatever and then decide to come back to the sport. They need to be penalized for that. If you decide to get out of the ring or your promoter can't get you a fight within 6 or 8 months, you and your team will get a fine. Put your man in a boxing pool, like a rule thing that we'll have. It'll be like something where a place or like a website where all promoters and everybody puts boxers that are available looking for fights, phone numbers, promoting people that you can contact, right? So that other promoters go look at the registry list and they can see the picture, the weight, and everything of all the boxers. So while they're on this 6 month, they're like, I don't know who to call up. No, on the boxing registry, you go and look up the guys that are free. He's available. He's available. He's available. You call them up. Hey, can we get this fight? Can we make this happen? You make it happen from your last fight. You have a time frame. Something like that. A system that keeps boxing on a schedule. And boxing's like any sport. You know, in basketball, you got a 10-season career. But every year, there's a point in the season where you have to play. There has to be a season in boxing. And you register your month when you enter. And then the way the seasons would go, it wouldn't be like everybody starts on the same month. But the computer would tally whatever when you start your season, right? And it'll roughly put you out because from the time you started, everybody goes in that 6-month window. So in between that 6-month window, you could have came in the fourth, but this other guy could have came in the fourth. So now you guys, you see what I'm saying? It'll rotate everything out. Plus, it'll have a site where all promoters can see. I should invent this shit myself. I think I gave away the sauce. Nevertheless, shit, get rich off my idea then, but fix boxing. But fix it. Copyright, just in case. I want my props. Yo, but anyway, right? Should come up with some idea like that. Like a registration board for all fighters that promoters can go and you can actively put your fighter in a thing when you looking for a fight. Become like a boxing registry type shit. That'll be dope. Right? Like, we got to find ways to make this shit better. So, fight fans, listen, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to cut this video short. Still working out the kinks with this ice, but it's all melting because it's a hot summer day today, and I've been watching it, and a lot of the snow's been falling off the tree, and I've been hearing it fall off my roof. So I'm going to get out there with that broom and try to hit the rest where my cable box is so that tonight when we go on, we'll have something to talk about or whatever. You know, might be a slow night. I don't know. But let me know in the chats if you guys want to come back, talk tonight. We could stick around and we'll talk tonight on tonight's show at 7:30. But that was the topic for today. I just wanted to talk about it and just food for thought. Food for thought. Think it over, you know. I can't wait to see Edwin doing push-ups live and pushing up what? Shushu with his WBC belt and finally replacing Naoya's picture. That is never gonna happen, Frontline. Okay, that was a fool man's bet you made. Yeah. First of all, Shushu's not getting past your boy. We got an initial bet with that one. I don't know if you remember that one because we made 2 bets last night, but thank God we got a recording and it was live. So we could just rewind that shit, can't we? Yeah, we can. All right. So tune in when Frontline once again, he done cursed fucking Bruce Carrington. That's some bullshit. That is, I gotta let Bruce Carrington go down and prove a point. Damn, that's fucked up. I didn't want to sacrifice Bruce like that. I should call him up and tell him to go get a baño. You know what I'm saying? From the hex that Frontline. Once he chooses you, that's your ass, bro. You losing. Yo. Hey, yo, Frontline. Hey, his picture ain't never coming down, bro. That's a real one. That's why I can bet in confidence with him. He's the real deal, baby. You're never gonna win. Don't touch the microphone at all. Don't touch it because it sounds great. Um, what I should do though, I should try this next feature. Let me press this button. Nah. Hey yo, hey yo, check it out. Hey yo, hands off, hands off the mic. Don't you dare touch this mic, yo. All right, you didn't say which hands to keep off the mic. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see if this works. Nah. Hey yo, Bobo, yo, I, I just want to press one more button. That's all. Yo, and we're going over to the next show. Am I going over the next show? Nah, look, I'm still in my fucking role. I didn't want to. I didn't, I just came on to talk today. I don't feel like going on there right now and just sitting in the chair hearing everybody talk. You know, uh, today was one of just them days that, you know, uh, last night, man, I got twisted too, man. I was drinking that funny juice, and on the live too, we was cracking up. So I was like a little hangoverish, little. I was like, right. So I'm probably not gonna go to Nessa's show right now. I don't know. I heard Keith Cologne was on it earlier, right? Uh, what they talking me up over there or something? Whatever it is, man. It's finally on point. The mic, yeah. Don't forget, Bang Boogie's going live for the skull fight. That's a fact, Jack. Listen, I called Bang Bang Boogie yesterday on a live, right, on my phone. I was like, to see him. Yo, my man had his phone set up on the light pole on the other side of the street, and he was standing there in all his glory with his FUBU shirt, but the B and the O is missing. So it said FU, and his belly was sticking out at the bottom. His hair was sticking out, and he was going like this. And every girl that walked by, he was going, Oye, mamacita, come here, let me talk to you. And I was like, yo, I was like, Boogie, what you doing? He was like, when you don't know, I'm a Mac from way back, a macaroni. Listen, I was like, yo, Boogie, you crazy out here wilding. That's when he spun around, looked me dead in the eyes, and was like, the greatest fighter in the world is William Skull. At that point, I knew we had to get my friend help. You know what I'm saying? So I tased him in the back. We restrained him, and we're showing him footage right now of real boxers. Maybe he comes back around to us. I'm not sure, but you know what I mean? It's crazy. He was out there looking crazy, strung out on William Skull. Yeah, shirt poking out, everything, missing letters. It said FU on his shirt, not FUBU. It was crazy. He was looking crazy. Yeah, but I love Boogie, so I had to help him out. I had to like bring him back to boxing and shit. Listen, guys, you guys are the best. Can you see it in your head? Can you see the picture in your head? Yo, Boogie looking crazy out there. I'm trying to go back to the stream where Edwin turned into the Kevin Hart. Oh man, stop it. Listen, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm just having fun. Man, yesterday we was cracking up, man. Yeah, this shit was crazy. But listen, we always have a good time here at Round One Sports Talk. Yeah, man, we going on at 7. See, like my head's still rocking a little, but I'll get some coffee in me and drink some and shit, and I'll be wanting to try because I'm always electric. You guys know me. Once I get started, you guys be getting me. And then here come Frontline with his bullshit. Bruce Carrington. Oh, shut up, Frontline. Yo, you guys are the best. I'll post it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, listen, fight fans, let's wrap this up because I'm gonna see you guys in a few hours at 7:30. I'm gonna come on. I gotta give you guys something to watch with all this crap out there. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? So I'll see you guys back here at 7:30. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. Everything. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yup. Thank you, Frontline. I was going to ask you. All right, cool. Absolutely. So, hey, fight fans, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been the best. Peace. And I'll see you guys tonight. It was a what? Come on, man. Frontline. Edwin, are you really ready for push-ups? Am I ready for push-ups? I'm ready for push-ups right now, bro. Well, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna start to open my own gym. I'm putting bets on the line for guys for 25 push-ups. So it's gonna be round one fitness. And what we're gonna do is all the losers that try to bet against me, you're gonna see them working out. I should have a live stream of all the people that are gonna do push-ups. They're gonna get buffed. Hey yo, hey Sabor, Malasa Sabor, yo, he came in here like this, right? Fucking with me. In 6 months, he's gonna be like this. All the losses he took, he's gonna be jacked. And right behind him is gonna be Frontline. He's gonna be more like this because he can only do 5 push-ups, or have like one buff arm like that. Just Frontline, one buff arm. That's it. You know what I mean? Yo, listen, guys. If you bet against me, you're betting to lose because you're not gonna beat me. Here at Round One Sports Talk, I'll get you jacked. Yes, 25 push-ups. You gotta pay on the live. The more you lose, the bigger you'll get. And I'm telling you, by the end of the summer, you'll be able to fit into that bikini you always wanted to. So, fight fans, I'm on to the next one. After this one, love yourself.